Hello and welcome. My name is Kimono, and today we're going to be talking about my thoughts on marriage. Now, I've never been married myself, and maybe once or twice I thought maybe this is the right person, and obviously it didn't work out. So, this topic was actually submitted by my friend Samantha. A lot of times I will reach out to other people and ask what they think would be an interesting topic for me to talk about, and she suggested actually a whole bunch of stuff. And I thought this was right at the top of the list. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk about. So in preparation, I did some research on Google and found I think it was the 2012 statistics on marriage and divorce in the U.S. And it was really interesting. According to the research that I found, it was 50% of all first marriages end in divorce, 64% of all second marriages end in divorce, and 74% of all third marriages end in divorce. And I thought that was really interesting. It's kind of backwards from what I thought it would be. So basically what this data was telling me was that if I get married for the first time, there is a 50-50 chance of it actually working out. So it's basically a coin flip, which is a little bit scary, that no matter who it is, statistics have shown that it's a coin toss whether or not it's actually going to work out. So now I didn't really get too deep in the research, so I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch of reasons why people get divorced: infidelity, money, people changing, people growing apart. A lot of times when you add children into the equation, some people just can't handle it. They get really stressed out and they just have to go. Happens all the time. And so I didn't really get too deep in the research. I was just mainly looking up the divorce rate statistics. But just looking through this stuff and just reading different things, it just sort of scared me away. I think that marriage is a really cool thing if you can find that person that loves you back and that you love and all that. I think it's totally acceptable and totally fine thing to do. I don't think it's necessary. I think that for me, I could easily be with somebody for 30 years, never get married, but just you have that bond already. You have that kind of relationship that you don't need a ring, you don't need a piece of paper. And I know that's a very male attitude towards it, but I think that less and less people are really getting married. I know plenty of people who have got married, and I know plenty of people who have no interest in doing that, men and women. And I think a lot of it is to do with the divorce rates. I think that we all know people who've been divorced, whether it's parents or friends or other relatives, people we work with, and it's always just this crazy horror story. Something bad happens, or just even if it's somewhat amicable, it's just tons and tons of paperwork. It takes forever to actually go through. And then if you have kids, there's custody battles and things like that. I think most people go into a marriage thinking that this is the right person and this is the person they want to marry and be with and all that. But over time, things just sort of unravel. And I think a lot of it is just people not being upfront and honest right away with who they are. And you get into a relationship. Anybody who's been in a long-term relationship, you're constantly finding out new things about people. And you would hope that they stay consistent with who they are. And I think a lot of times people get married and then after a while they start seeing the real person come out and it's like, well, wait a minute, who's this person? This isn't what I signed up for. Who are you? So that's just one of many reasons why people get divorced. Obviously cheating is one of the biggest, I would imagine. I think for a lot of people, they're willing to work out their problems, their differences and all that, and if you care enough about the person, you want to work things out. But that's kind of a deal breaker. If you're with somebody and they cheat on you, it's sort of like, well, I don't know if I can get past this. Now, if you're the kind of person who can and you can work it out, then that's awesome. Good for you. I personally could not. I'm not going to work something out like that with somebody. And so I would be part of that statistic. I would be one of those people that gets married for the first time, ends up getting cheated on, and says, nope, we're getting divorced. That's it. We're done. So I guess it's a good thing I haven't been married because I'm not part of any kind of negative statistic. But anybody who's taken a sociology class, which was my favorite class in college, knows that the U.S. is one of the few countries that actually marry for love. A lot of other countries marry because it financially makes sense, or you have other countries that have arranged marriages, and here we might think that's kind of weird because we don't have that as much as part of our American culture. But who knows? It may work out great for the people who are in arranged marriages. It might be a really awesome thing to do. I don't know. I've never had that experience. And I don't really know too many people that have. I've known a few, and it was fine. They liked the person that they were with, so they weren't really too bummed out about it. But we marry in the U.S. for love. At least we think we are. We think we love the person, and we want to spend the rest of our lives with them. And as a result of that, it ends in divorce. Maybe we're rushing into it. Maybe we just need to take our time, really get to know the person. Who knows? I would hate to say that marrying for love is the wrong way to do something, because it seems like that's exactly the right way to do it. But divorce rates in other countries aren't quite as bad. Although the statistics I was reading actually said that different, I think it was Eastern European countries, might have been Western European countries, but countries like Russia, the divorce rates are really, really high. So again, I didn't dig too deep into that because it's not really what I was looking for, but it's things like that tend to kind of scare you away a little bit. Just knowing that your whole marriage is a coin toss. And it's just like in football, it's like a Hail Mary pass, and you hope that it totally works out, but there's that good chance that it might not. So that's a little scary. But anyway, I open it up to you guys. Have you guys ever been married? If so, what was your experience? Did you get divorced? If so, why? What happened? It's okay, you don't have to tell me. It's alright. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good night.